Afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm here to do a review on something that I read yesterday, courtesy of my Kindle Unlimited subscription on Amazon. In case you guys don't know, Kindle Unlimited allows you to read a lot of books, novels, comics, well, certain ones anyway, for free. You can read them for free. Certain ones, that is. And one of them I read yesterday was one that a lot of people talked about, I think, and even gave positive reviews to. I gotta look up the number of the graphic novel, or at least the collection, the IDW MLP collection it came in. But two stories were focused in there. One was on Big Mac trying to find some nails to do a repair with. And then the one I'm going to talk about now, called Neigh Anything. And Neigh Anything, I think that's what it was called, is basically an origin story on how Shining Armor and Princess Cadance met. That's right. And I'll say this, when I read the Big Mac story that came before this, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. But when I read Neigh Anything, and I mean Neigh Anything, when I read that, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Again, the Big Mac story, which was kind of like the comic book interpretation of Slice of Life in a way, but focused more on Big Mac, it was good. It had its funny moments. I mean, basically the comic was trying to ship Big Mac before the show did. I mean, the show teased something with Charlie, and the show officially did something with him and Sugar Bell. But the comic tried to do it first by incidentally putting two female characters going goo-goo guide for Big Mac when they would bump into him. One, I can't think of her name right now. I can't really think of her name. She has like a blue mane, and she's colored green, or kind of a lime green, if you will, or light green. But again, I can't think of her name. The other one that they had this happen to before that was the Wonderbolt Fleetfoot. So yeah, you actually had Fleetfoot, who I think we've seen in the show, actually fall in love with Big Mac. And there's even a scene in sort of like a montage towards the end of the story where you have Luna kiss Big Mac on the cheek. It's like, okay, what was that about? But anyway, like I said, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the other story that was included, called Neigh Anything. And like I said, this was a flashback story, sort of a flashback origin story of how Shining Armor and Princess Cadance met. And like I said, when I read this, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I really got a kick out of what they were doing here. It was almost classic in a way, Looney Tunes, cartoon, whatever you want to call it, like logic when it comes to romance 101. That's what it was. It was basically the classic story of boy and girl meeting each other and taking a liking to each other, but the story being told from different perspectives. But like I said, the story being told from different perspectives. First, Shining Armor tells it, kind of over-exaggerates certain things, and then Cadance tells a more realistic, more truer version. And again, I truly got a kick out of it because it was just classic cartoon Disney Looney Tunes logic 101 of boy meeting girl, and both doing what they could to be with each other. And again, I thoroughly liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story. Yeah, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed Neigh Anything. I think that's the name of it. Because like I said, it basically followed, and I know I'm repeating myself here, but basically followed classic cartoon romance, Looney Tune, Tiny Toon, Disney kind of, blueprinting. I mean, it did. I mean, you have Shining Armor starting off and telling them exactly in his mind what happened. It's kind of close to, what really did happen, except he kind of exaggerated a few things, and he basically points out that, hey, I'm only doing it for drama and effect and da and all that. And then when Cadance does it, like I said, she kind of tells a more truthful, more realistic version. I think she kind of exaggerated too a bit. But overall, Neigh Anything was a great origin story, especially in flashback. And some of the flashback moments were funny too. I mean, when Cadance was telling her side of it, or how she looked at it really happening, she basically, in a flashback, after she was brought in to babysit Twilight, as soon as Shining Armor and Twilight Velvet, and I can't think of the father's name, what it is right now, maybe one of you guys can, left for Shining Armor's recital, the moment they did that, Cadance basically, grabs Twilight and says, okay, you need to tell me everything you know about your brother and what his likes and dislikes are. And I just got a kick out of it. It was so good. It was just so really well done, and you get to see a side of Cadance in this flashback that, well, of course she's kind of a teenager and all that, but you kind of see a side of her that's like, man, why can't we see this side all the time in the show? It's like, this is genuinely, that's what I'm genuinely funny. This is a very funny side of her, and we don't get to see it much. But this is very genuine comedic side of Cadance that was seen. I mean, the fact that, Twilight, basically because even after Cadance says that, it takes Twilight to be like, oh, wait a minute, you really like my brother, don't you? And of course, Twilight being Twilight, even as a filly, goes into being, Twilight, basically saying, okay, you want to know what my brother likes? I hope you're ready. I hope you got everything that's needed to jot down notes and all that. I hope you got this and that and this and that. And Cadance, because obviously she's babysitted or fully seated Twilight before, she's all ready for this. She's like, hey, bring it. Because she basically says, hey, I got what you need. I got this. I got that. She's like, basically like, bring it in the flashback. And again, it's just so entertaining. Just so well done for Cadance. Just so very well done. Overall, the story is genuinely funny. It's a genuine, funny, comedy kind of origin story that you just have to read if you haven't read it yet. It's just really good. And of course, in the end, we see that Shining Armor does get with Cadance at the ball and all that. So, or whatever it's called, a formal or something like that. We see them getting together at the end. So overall, again, it's just really, 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 really well done. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, you guys have to see it yourselves to believe what I'm saying, because it is so well done. Again, like I said, it is just so well done that I'm probably going to reread it myself. It is that good. And even Celestia in the flashback gets a funny moment, because Celestia, I guess, is kind of like the guardian of... Because like I said, I think Celestia is kind of the guardian of Cadance. And I love how she's basically telling Cadance first, hey, if you promise to go with this Buck Withers, that's what his name was, I think, then you need to stick true to your goals. You need to go with him and enjoy yourself. But when Buck Withers arrives and starts acting the way he does in front of Celestia and starts doing this and starts acting all high and mighty and basically being like, hey, we're practically family anyway, da-da-da-da. As soon as his back is turned, getting ready to go back out the door to take Cadance to the dance, you see Celestia, you get this look from Celestia. She's looking at Cadance going like, the first chance you get, dump the whatever she called him. She basically said, whenever you get the chance, because basically she had to change her tone right then and there. She's like, whenever the moment you get to take the chance, or basically she's telling Cadance, whenever Cadance gets the chance, dump this guy, leave him at the altar, leave him be. In other words, get away from him as soon as you could when you get to that dance. Like that's basically Celestia's attitude. It's like, and it's kind of funny because it reminds me of Royal Problem, the way she reacted to Starlight telling her and Luna that, hey, the friendship problem here is you and your sister, and Celestia's reaction was, excuse me. That's kind of what you got here with her. But she's basically telling Cadance, the first moment you get, dump the guy, and head someplace else, or head for some pony else. So yeah, even this Buck Withers, who's kind of the antagonist, the bully in this flashback story, is so arrogant and so much of an egomaniac that even Celestia has a change of tone and says, hey, the moment you get Cadance, get as far away from this dude as you can. It's really funny, just really cool. And like I said, it's just a very well done classic, a very well done comedic origin story, done almost in almost like an 80s fashion, because you could tell it's supposed to take place in what their equivalent was of the 1980s. You could see that, because one of the panels has Cadance holding an album which is basically a parody of Prince and the Revolution and the album Purple Rain. So overall, it's really good. And the ending, especially when you go back to present time and you see what happened to Buck Withers and who he ends up with, yeah, you'll kind of really get a laugh out of it, and you'll really enjoy it. So I highly recommend reading Neigh Anything when you get a chance from IDW's My Little Pony Friendship is Magic comics. Really check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And you know what? I even said this to myself last night. If they do need ideas to do a 200th episode on, then this story here, Neigh Anything, Cadance, and Shining Armor's origin of how they met and came to be as an item, is the best adaptation you can go with if they wanted to. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say, guys, on it. I'm going to eat some lunch now before I have to clock back in. But that's about it. So until next time, God bless, take care, I am out.